I'm Doreen Grasso, and this is Eileen, and this is Crestwood Country Club, and we're here to talk to you a little bit about doing yoga before playing golf. A lot of people think that yoga has to be done in the studio, but there are a lot of things that you can do, yoga postures and asanas that you can do prior and during golf that will really help your game. Yoga is a breathing movement system, so the movement will help you strengthen and lengthen your body with stretching, but also with breathing. People don't really think about their breathing when they're playing golf. So in yoga, when we do pranayama or some breathing exercises, what that does is calm down your parasympathetic system and calm your heart rate. And so think about breathing in 3 parts. Inhaling for 3, holding for 2 or 3 seconds, exhaling for 3 or 4. So if you think of that throughout your golf game too, that will also help. So one of the first things you want to do, because you come out cold, we're all excited to get out and play golf, is you want to make sure that you, I've been playing golf for over 35 years, so your body doesn't respond as well as it has in the past. So you want to make sure that your synovial fluid, so you want to do some like shoulder rolls like this. Some people tend, you could do it with arm circles. And so you want to get that synovial fluid moving in your body. And likewise, you see a lot of people doing the twists on the golf course. When you see people twisting back and forth, sometimes they have a club behind them and then they twist back and forth. But one of the things that I want to show you is you want to really watch your feet with this. So when you twist, you don't want to twist and keep your foot planted because that will really go to your low back. So you want to be twisting and lifting the heel of the opposite one. So let's twist to this side and lift the heel, and twist to this side and lift the heel. So you can do that without having to be in yoga gear or a yoga mat or anything like that. So another thing that you want to do as well is we want to warm up the core a little bit. So sometimes I like lift up, inhale, and then exhale and just like inhale up. So you can do that a few times as well, and it's really easy to do while you're waiting on the tee or something like that. So another thing that I'm going to have you do is you're going to put your hands on top of your knees here, and then bend the knees. And so try to keep your back straight. I'm going to have you turn sideways just so I can see. So you want to keep that flat back here. And so you want to inhale and look up. You're going to do cat-cow. Exhale, pill on the belly here. Inhale and exhale. And that will improve the flexibility of your back when you're ready to go out for on the course. So also while you're here, so we'll go back in that position again with the knees bent. You always want to keep your knees bent unless you do a lot of yoga and you know you can lock out your knees. It's always safer for your back to keep your knees bent. So from here, you can like look over your left shoulder and do a little bit of a twist here. Inhale here, exhale to the opposite side. Inhale, exhale to the opposite side. And so you never really want to go beyond, this isn't a push it through. You just want to go to the edge of your body, and only you have that body awareness. And so if something hurts or doesn't feel comfortable, there's no need to go through it, especially when your body is cool in the day. So another one we're going to do, we're going to inhale up here. So we're going to do a half moon. So in yoga class, sometimes you just lean over to one side. You can also drop the hand and just keep that heart to the sky here. And you'll feel that all the way down the side of the body through the hips, because we're going to do a little, the hip warm-ups. And inhale center and the opposite side. And back again. Another thing that you could do is if you could either hold on to something or you can lift a knee up. It's okay. It's all right. You go where your body is at the time. Laughing is good. And then you can lift another knee up.
Not gonna happen today.
That's okay. That's okay. So from here, another thing that you really want to stretch out too is your Iliopsoas or your front line or your hip flexors. So what you want to do is you want to step forward into a lunge, bend that knee back a little bit, and then bend this knee. But you want to make sure when you're here that your knee is above your ankle. You never want to go forward because you don't want to hyperextend the knee, and then you come back here. So you want to have that right angle, and you want to make sure that your hips are square. So you want to move your hips back a little bit here, and then press this side, the Iliopsoas forward, right? So here, and you'll feel this open up. A lot of people get tightness in the backside of the body, but a lot of sitting. We've done a lot of Corona sitting lately. This opens up the front line here, and then you want to back up and come forward here. And you'll feel it release. You want to hold this for 6 to 10 seconds, or you can do it for 5 breaths, but it's just a good idea to get that opened up before you do your golf swing. Another thing that you want to do is you want to have your feet like hip distance apart. We call it ragdoll. It's all Uttanasana in Sanskrit. So you want your toes slightly pigeon-toed, and you really want to hinge from the hips here. So you don't want to, what you don't want to do is hinge from the waist, because that's going to put pressure on your back. So you find your hip creases right here, right? And then you come forward on your hip creases. I'll do it sideways. And come all the way down, keeping your knees bent. And then you can have your hands on the ground, on your knees, or you can interlock them. And so this will open up the whole backside of the body. You can do a little bit of swaying. But when you come up, you want to keep your knees bent. You want to roll back up here. And then that will open up the backside of the body. Uttanasana or ragdoll is something that I do several times throughout my golf game because I tend to get a really compressed back. So when every few holes I'll do that, I'll find a place to do it, I'll do a ragdoll, and I can feel the compression of my spine. It's almost like a chiropractic adjustment. So that compression happens all throughout your golf swing. So it's always good to do throughout the day. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be playing golf, and I will show you some other postures or stretches that you can do throughout the golf day within your golf game. But that's basically a really good warm-up to get out on the golf course and get that swing going. So we're ready for golf in the summertime. So here we are about halfway through our round. I'm starting to feel a little tighter in my back, and so these are some of the things that you can do along the way. And up in the upper shoulders. A lot of times, because we're going forward, this gets really closed, so you have to think about your stance. And so you can grab a tree and then turn. The geese are going to do it with us. And then open up right across the heart space right here and the pec. And then you would turn around and do the other side. Another thing you could do is your downward dog, kind of like against the wall. So you'd press your hands here, bend your knees, and stretch your back here. This will get the lower back and your arms right here. And then the last thing I would do is do like the 4 square with your hands. So you want to take your ankle, put it over your knee, and sit down. And then what you want to do here is you want to make sure that this ankle's flexed so it doesn't stress the knee. And then you sit down, and then you do it to both sides. I tend to do it on my right side more because I'm a right side golfer. So I'm right cheeked, and this one's a lot tighter. So if you ever want to loosen that up in the middle of your golf game, there you go. So here we are at the end, and we're going to demonstrate like where the thoracic spine is. So the thoracic spine is right here in the center, which tends to get very twisted up when you're golfing. So you can either go like this, cross your arms, and then give yourself a hug and turn. Or if you can do it, you can do eagle arms here, and that will spread out the thoracic spine right there. Another thing that you could do that you see people do a lot is they grab their golf club and then they bring it below here. You want it right in the back of your spine. You want to think about lifting your heart up. So you come here and you lift up, and you can use your golf club to do that. If you don't want to do that, what you can do is put your hands on the bottom of your spine, press your hips forward, lift your head up, and you can spread out the spine there. And then we're done. So now that your game is over, you can come home and you're still a little tight from golf. Normally I'd stay at the club for a little while, but now we have to come directly home. So I have my yoga mat, I'm ready to stretch out now that my body's warm and I've played 18 holes of golf. So one of the things I want to show you is a knee down lunge. So the other lunges we had before we were doing standing. So what we're going to do this time is we're going to do a knee down lunge and bring the knee forward, and again have the knee over the ankle. Scooch back with the back foot here. You can bring your hands to your knees here. You want to square off your hips so they're not coming forward. Here. Square off your hips, and then lift the body here and press forward with that Iliopsoas. muscles. Do that for a few moments to make sure that you do it on both sides. Coming forward with the second side here. And again, you're stretching the iliopsoas here and the back of the hip. Another thing that you can do here is while you are on your knees, you can come up and grab the heels, or you can use blocks if you have blocks, and then lift up to stretch the back here. If that doesn't work where you can't grab your heels, you can always grab the back, the lower back, and lift up here. So then pretty much after that, you can do some stretches right on the ground. You can extend your legs and make sure that your spine is very straight here. You don't want to curve and hurt, that will put some stress on the back. You want to keep the back, the lower back curved, and then hinge at the hips, and then just come forward here to wherever your edge is, and breathe there for about 10 seconds. As you come back, you can actually bend one knee and come forward again and do equal sides on the knees. Again, bend the knee in, press forward. Or if you sit up very tall, you can bring the soles of your feet together for Baddha Konasana, which is a butterfly. And then the soles of the feet together, you grab them and you extend your spine nice and tall. This is a really nice hip releaser. And then coming onto all fours, this is your table position. You walk your hands forward and then you sit back in child pose or balasana. Breathing here your entire time. And I like to come up and reverse my hands here. Get a little closer and sit back, and it kind of stretches out my forearms after a day of golf. And then there you have it. You've had a full day of exercise and a beautiful day for golf, and you've stretched your body along with it. So that's all I have. Thank you very much. This is Doreen Grasso from Crestwood Country Club in Rehoboth, and I hope you have a great summer. Take care.